is Thursday, November 20th. You know what day it is? It's the day after your Super Bowl. We're a little hungover. We had a little party on Substack last night. I was live for the NVIDIA earnings. We saw the chart. We went over it, blah, blah, blah. It was good. I'm going to go over. I sold a couple of stock last night. I bought one this morning while in bed. I'll go over that. We are going to go over Bitcoin. We're going to go over Microstrategy. That continues to pump. We will go over Michael Saylor and all the clips. Alpha Picks sent out an update about PANW. You can read that one. We're going to go over 5 things that you should do in regards to charity. Through the end of the year, before the end of the year, for taxes. An interesting article on shorts, the one stock that's the largest increase in October. Jefferies names a top AI pick. $550 price target. We'll go over Red Cat. We'll go over Broadcom seasonality. Elf got a short report. And then we'll go over earnings, obviously NVIDIA, Snowflake, Palo Alto Networks, everything of that sort. So sit back. It's going to be a little bit of a show, but let's go over a couple of things. The algorithm didn't get you back in yesterday, okay? It's still not going to get you back in for a couple of candles. Most likely, probably Friday, tomorrow, or Monday. Today, we're up 0.55. I think the market's taking a nice deep breath. We did get we have job reports at 8:30, I think, because it's Thursday. I haven't looked at that. Honest to God, I just don't know. Looks like the market, the Qs are up 0.55. You're at 505. 505 puts you above this previous high, which we've just been sitting around. But you see that top end of the Bollinger Band coming down? You see how we're trading at the bottom end of the Bollinger Band? I'm just buying. Honest to God, I'm just buying. I do think that this particular one, we've pulled back. See the MACD down at the oscillator, the RSI at 50 in no man's land. You look at a weekly chart of this, and we still have confirmation above that 9-day. So we're still in that upward trend. Still in that upward trend. The MACD back down to where it was when it took off, when it was trading at about, it was trading, 350? Back in September of 2023. So the RSI come down. It's at 60, going up a little bit. But I do think we're in a bull market until we're not. Now, I sold last night Shark Ninja. Okay, it's the stock that I sold. I'm just starting out with this. Why? The algorithm got me out. You can see right here. This is the 4-hour algorithm. I got in at 102 after its earnings when it's dropped. I said, you know what? I love my vacuum and I want to buy it. Got this alert. See that line right there? I got a text. I bought it. 102.90 something, I think. I bought it at 102.80 something. I don't exactly know where, but I got that alert, pulled out my phone, bought it on Webull, and then I just waited. And then what happened when this one came yesterday at 1:30 in the afternoon, I got an alert, sell Shark Ninja. I didn't think about it. I just went and did it because my hypothesis was that I was going to trade this one. The wins in the algorithm, you win 58% of the time. It didn't work out. I had a very small position. I didn't add to it as it went down because I didn't want a dollar cost average on this one. I wanted it when it was in an upward trajectory. Now it's at 95. I sold at 96 something. It just didn't work. And then I'm sitting in bed this morning and I'm seeing that Bitcoin's flying. Bitcoin tops 97,000. Okay, this is the article. I was looking at Bitcoin on just kind of seeking alpha. I just went to BTC, and I think it topped 98,000. So what did I do? I bought IBIT. And I bought it in my Webull account. It's nice and easy to do. I can do it after hours. It's not a lot of money. I think I put in $2,000. But I've got in the Substack chat, if you go over here and we go to the newsletter, in the Substack chat this morning, I just said, hey, I put in a bunch and I was laying down and I put in a screenshot of my Webull account. And I said, yeah. I've got a bunch and I'm up 190%. I bought 2K more of IBIT and I think I got it like 55.90 or something. And I'm down on it, but I'm not worried. IBIT is my long-term strategy on that one. That's it. And so it's very simple. And yes, this chat. You can go into this chat in Substack, and I'll respond right to you. No problem. But again, I just bought IBIT. And I'm buying it with the MACD super high. I'm buying it with the RSI at 73. There is obviously a reason that I shouldn't buy it. But it's $2,500 for me. Okay? It's a lot percentage in my Webull account, but I'm just playing that account. It is now 11,000. I'll tell you exactly. It crossed 11,000 yesterday. And a lot of that reason is because of IBIT and MSTX. It's at $11,305. Okay? MSTX is up another 30% today. And IBIT is I'm down on that initial buy, but I'm up 30% on my adding it to it as it's going up. I'm adding to it. So I see that it's got confirmation. I see that the bottom part of the Bollinger Band pulled up. I was like, you know what? F it. I sold my Shark Ninja. I'm just going to buy IBIT. So that's what I did. Now let's talk about Trendspider. They are having an AI Strategy Lab session at 12 o'clock today, and it will be recorded and it will be on YouTube. So I want you to watch this. This is an absolute game changer. Okay, the live webinar, you can go to a link right here and you can sign up right at the bottom of I guess it's not, this isn't linked, but it will be there is a link in the newsletter, or just type in AI Strategy Lab, and on the blog post there is one. What this is, just so you're aware, you can train a model on a certain time period. So you can train it on 2022, which is a bear market. You can train it on 2020, which is a bull market. And you can say, okay, here's a stock. What would be a good strategy for me to implement during this time? And it will build you a strategy with the thousands of indicators that it has at its disposal. And it'll say, this is a good strategy. And here's the win rate. And it'll give you options. And you can whittle that down, just like prompting and AI. You whittle it down. You build that strategy. Jason is going to show you how to do that today. So if you can't make it at 12 o'clock, I will link it tomorrow in YouTube. And I want you to watch it. Because here's the thing. The AI Strategy Lab comes with Trendspider. And yes, I haven't played with it. I'm probably not that great at it. I'm a boomer. I can't figure this stuff out. But I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see what it can do for me. Because this is an absolute game changer. It's not something that I would run right out to get Trendspider for, because it's still in its infancy. But everybody who has Trendspider, who's played with this, that is part of my show, has given me feedback. It is unbelievable. And it's gotten them new strategies. It's gotten them new I talk about the algorithms. It's strategies. That's all it is. And so I would urge you. You've got 3 days left to save 67%. Okay. The bottom tier, the standard tier, $45. Toss it out while the sale's going on. Don't get that one. Get the enhanced version at $49. The reason I am having too many people who went with the standard and don't get a free one-on-one training session. You need that one-on-one training session. And for $4 a month, it's just one that comes with the enhanced. Now, if you know you're going to use this for the full year and you love this, then spend the extra couple $100. Spend the extra what? $15 a month and go with the advanced. But why? Because you get unlimited one-on-one training. You can have a training session every week. Okay? It's not about the additional tools that you get. You do this for a year and then you scale down. I have a feeling that in this advanced tier, the AI Strategy Lab will live because the costs are just so incredible. It's super, super high. I mean, honestly, the cost of an AI Strategy Lab with the AWS cost, I can't believe Dan has included it in other tiers. But if you sign up for the enhanced or the advanced, you get that AI Strategy Lab. So, and they will have it available for you. Here's the Bitcoin price from last night. Just so you know, I posted this at like 3 a.m. 97,000. It ripped right past 94. It ripped right past 95, went to 96, and then past 97 as I was awake at 3 o'clock in the morning with the dog. And that's why, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy IBIT. And I bought it. So you can read all this stuff about IBIT. Michael Saylor, if you didn't know, Michael Saylor is the CEO of Microstrategy. And Microstrategy is up another 13% in pre-market. Now, Pavan asked the question, and I'll go over it back then. Why is Microstrategy up so much more when Bitcoin isn't up as much? We'll go over that. But I want you to start reading about Michael Saylor because the strategy, okay, the strategy of Microstrategy, ironic, they buy Bitcoin and they leverage the company and the stock and the bonds and everything that the company earns. They leverage it to buy Bitcoin. Now, in a bull market, that's fantastic. As Bitcoin continues to go up, that's fantastic. So when these people are selling Bitcoin, you know who's buying it? Microstrategy. So that's the reason this one's continuing to go up. And BTIG, they praise the strategy. Now, it's a deck of cards. So at some point, it will fall. As Bitcoin goes down, Microstrategy will go down further. And it's just a leveraged ETF on Bitcoin. That's all Microstrategy is. And in fact, if you wanted to double the MicroStrategy, we can look at MSTR because here this is the benefit of getting Trendspider is you get my 4-hour algorithm. Now, you might say, you know what? What told you to get into MicroStrategy? Right here, the algorithm. Right here at $125. Now, the algorithm continues to outperform buy and hold. And this is exactly what I'm doing. But right here, performance chart, 3,169%. Versus buy and hold is 2,741%. You might say, is that for 10 years? No, 24 and a half months. And you might say, well, aren't you trading that on a daily basis? No, 22 positions, 24 months, diamond hands, okay? MSTR got you in at 125. These little blue alerts, that's where I doubled down. That's where I put more money into this. That's why I started adding to my winners. You're trading at the upper end of the Bollinger Band. Okay? But this 4-hour strategy comes when you use my link in Linktree to sign up for Trendspider. This alone would have paid you back the subscription fee for everything. So I want you to get Trendspider if you have enough money to put into something like Trendspider. Your win rate, 50%. 50%, it's a coin flip. Your average win, 66%. Again, if you bought here at 125, you're great. If you bought here at 189, you're great. If you bought here at 205, you're great. If you bought here at 235, you're great. Look at this strategy. Okay, you had this nice 241% gain. You had this great 71% gain. So this in this leveraged ETF is fantastic. I will point out another ETF that I'm trading this on. It's MSTX. Okay, this has only been out for 97 days. You only have 2 positions. You took this one and it made you 224%. I took this one and I don't even think I bought it. I think I bought in at 100 to be honest with you. And it still has you in. So you're doing really well. And the win rate is 100% because, again, this one's been out for 97 days. It's been 2 positions. You took one here. You got out. It got you right back in. So, yeah, that's as simple as it can be. So if you have any questions on that, you can certainly email me. But, again, this is MicroStrategy. Bitcoin has 95K, So, and here's the thing. When you look at MicroStrategy, it could be $1 trillion company. This could join Apple. This could join everybody. This could join a lot. But it could be $1 trillion company. That's what this analyst says. And it's because they plan on buying 3%. And this is just the current plan. 3% of the entire universe of Bitcoin. And if you know anything about Bitcoin, there is a limited amount of Bitcoin. So when people are selling their Bitcoin, guess who's buying it? MicroStrategy. Now, I will tell you last night, this was on CNBC as Carter Worth was saying, with the chart, you want to sell everything. You want to get out of this when you want to get out. No way you want to get out. Their heads were exploding. See those hands? These are diamond hands. I'm trading it on the algorithm. Okay. I have no emotion to this. I have no reason to think that there won't be a pullback, but I'm waiting for the algorithm to get me out. If I lose 20, 30%, fine. That I don't have a problem with it because I'm up so much. Again, the algorithm takes emotions out of the trade. So there are a ton of Michael Saylor clips that are online. This one, he criticizes Warren Buffett with Berkshire holding so much cash. Go and listen to it. This is the strategy. This one, I have some thoughts on Microstrategy. I heard Michael say something yesterday. I can't stop thinking about it. Again, go and read that. That's a great, great quote. And I like that one. This particular one, this is Yahoo Finance. They go over MicroStrategy's buying stuff. MicroStrategy bought $4.6 billion in Bitcoin over the last week, the largest purchase by crypto hedge fund to date. Its total Bitcoin holdings now top $29 billion. But again, it's trading at a premium to its current holding. But MicroStrategy is just one that looks like that. Now, Alpha Picks. We talk about Alpha Picks all the time. This is the second link here. This is Black Friday special. You should get, again, for the Gary bundle, you get the Seeking Alpha Premium and the Alpha Picks bundle for $509. You are saving $159, a discount, I'm sorry, of $289. $159 is the normal. You're saving $289 off of this. Okay? The Alpha Picks portfolio is phenomenal. Look at that. 173% versus S&P up 55%. POWL, P-O-W-L, it's an alpha pick. It was down like 20% yesterday. They sent you an email with why. They sent you an email with why. They sent you an email with everything. So look for that. And if you signed up for Seeking Out or the bundle, you can just go into your Alpha Pick section. If you go into Seeking Alpha right here on the left-hand side in the investing groups, you'll have Alpha Picks. It's the only investing group that I'm a part of. The only one. They've offered me others. I'm just a part of this one. Now, Goldman Hedge Funds VIP list, Amazon, VST, CRM, BABA. Notice anything? It's power. It's AI. You know, that's what it is. And the list is down below. It's Meta. Meta's in there as well. So take a look at that one. I wanted to show this one from Downtown Josh Brown, who is the Compound. This is an updated version of the Bob story because the Bob story takes, I mean, you know, most people I was born in the 70s. I wasn't investing in the 70s. I was investing in the 80s. But most people, you know, the 2000s and stuff like that. This is just a look at how much you're up if you bought at the peak before the full punt. Annualizing returns through 10/31/2024 if you invested at the worst times in history. And again, that's the 2000.com bubble. That's the 2007, right before the housing crisis of 2008, 2009. And this is January, right before the COVID stuff. So the point is, be in the market. Don't try and time it. Just be in the market. When we talk about the Qs and stuff like that, just be in it. 2025 may see more of the AI boom and geopolitical challenges. If you don't think we're going to have a crazy 2025 with Trump in the White House, you're out of your mind. It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be bumpy. And what I like about this particular one is they bring up a list of ETFs for AI. So go and look at it. Go and look at these ETFs. Make sure your expense ratio is down. Make sure your holdings are okay. If it's actively managed, look at the actual performance versus like an NVIDIA or something like that. But understand when you're getting into an ETF, what you're getting into. But I like this article for that. Now, let's talk about 5 things. We're going to go back here and we're going to just put up the Qs chart because I want to talk about 5 things for year end. Okay. Revisit your charitable giving strategy. Understand that Fidelity has this thing where I can actually donate shares of stock. So for Apple, you know, my average purchase price on Apple is like $5. I think it's like $10 in one account. It's somewhere in that neighborhood. Say I give 10 shares right now through Fidelity's giving program. Okay. That is what? $2,290. I give 10 shares away. I get the benefit of giving that $2,290 to a charity that's in their giving program without having to pay the capital gains of the $5 between 229. So I don't have to pay the capital gains. I just give the stock to the charity. That's what Bezos's ex-wife is doing. When she sells stock, she's not paying the capital gains. She's giving that, and you get to write the entire stock amount off against your income on your taxes. Okay? So that's a big thing. You get to write that off against your taxes. So understand what you're giving, how you're giving. It's a much more functional way for me to give to charity than to give cash. Okay? Gift your gains. If you're donating an appreciating asset like stock that has increased in value, they may allow you to give capital gains tax that you'd have to pay if you sold it. That means you can donate the full value of the asset. So understand, when you're donating, understand what you're donating. Consider family gifting before the end of the year too. You won't receive any sort of deduction for gifting to a family member, so you've already paid taxes on this, but you can gift up to $17,000 or $34,000 for married couples. Consider giving that. One of these guys who's a high net worth individual, I forget who it was, but he said gifting on inheritance makes no sense. So he starts gifting to his kids when he can during the year, because that's the time when they can use it. Now, if your kid's a complete flunky, don't do that. Don't do that. But you can gift $17,000. You don't get a tax refund or anything like that, but it makes sure that they don't pay capital gains on it. So it's not double taxed, and they have it in their account and they can use it. Think about upping your gifting this year. Usually the deduction limit for charitable cash donations is 60% of your adjusted gross income. There's from the IRS to help you check to see if you do it, but you may still want to do it, blah, blah, blah. Just understand that. And then the final thing, just understand how taxes work. I think a lot of people don't understand how taxes work. So say you make $100,000, okay? From $0 to $10,000, you pay nothing. Okay? Or I'm sorry, the portion is $0 to $11,000, it's taxed at 10%. That's a great tax rate. Then from $11,000 to $47,000, you're taxed, and I think this is single, you're taxed at 12%. And then from $47,000 to $100,000, you're taxed at 22%. So understand, it's a glass that fills with water. You don't pay, 22% on your entire earnings. Understand how that works. And if you have some charitable donations and you make $101,000, then you can bring that, just give away $1,000, and then you don't pay the higher taxes on that $1,000. It just goes to 22 because it's $100,000. But if you make $100,001, doesn't mean that you pay 22 the higher tax bracket on that $100,000. It means on that $1 you pay a higher tax bracket. So understand how taxes work. I'm not here to be a tax professional. Just get yourself one. Now, I found this article. Trump media saw the largest increase in short interest in October. Doesn't surprise me. This stock is a total freaking joke. There's no revenues on this stock. It's all because Trump is president. That's it. So there's going to be some grifting, probably. I mean, if Trump's history is anything, there's going to be some grifting, but he's not selling. But what I found funny was this list. There are a large number of alpha picks in this particular list. The largest decreases in October. And there's a lot of alpha picks. I don't think that they look at this, but it's an interesting thing. EAT is an alpha pick. Change in short interest, minus 3% because the fundamentals have become so good. Pilgrim's Pride, change in short interest in October, minus 4%. The fundamentals have become so good. That's what I found interesting. And again, alpha picks, just a great portfolio. Now, Microsoft Ignite, this is their annual conference, Flames AI investment, blah, blah, blah. It didn't do much for the actual stock. I talked about how yesterday I didn't like the little mini that they did. I like Apple's better. But Microsoft stock, it hasn't done anything for the stock. Honestly, it's at 418. But they talk about all of the AI investment, and Satya Nadella was out there. What I found interesting about this particular article is right here in the middle. Jefferies reiterates Microsoft as a top AI pick with a buy rating with a $550 target. Okay, Wall Street has this as a strong buy. 54 analysts that cover this. The average target price, $504. That's a 21% upside. So I like this stock. Not to quote Roy and Kitty, but I like the stock. Another one that's interesting that went up yesterday is Red Cat, RCAT. They won a U.S. Army short-range reconnaissance program, and it was up 35%. It's up 11% in pre-market. Again, Seeking Alpha analysts think that it's a strong buy. There's only two that cover it. Wall Street thinks it's a strong buy. There's only two that cover it. Now, they say it's a $7 price target. It's already reached $7 in pre-market, by the way. The profitability sucks. They're not making money. Valuation sucks. Growth, 259% revenue year over year as they start to get revenues from this Army contract. Great. The momentum, fantastic. Revisions, 0 up, 1 down on earnings per share, 1 up, 1 down on revenue. So I think this is a small cap one. It's $480 million. It's a super small cap one. If you want to take a chance on it, again, they have an Army contract. It's an interesting one. Another thing that I found in Seeking Alpha, the seasonality stuff that they do, and this is in the app and you can scroll down and look at it. I thought it was interesting that AVGO has a 100% win rate. And by the way, they do this by market cap. So AVGO has a 100% win rate in November and an 80% win rate in December. And so I said, okay, let's go look at where we are right now on AVGO because it's super, super weak. So what would I be doing on this one? I already own it. It is a buy and hold. I own it in my brokerage account. I'm waiting for it to get to long term. I think I just started the position earlier this year around 130, and you're seeing it every time it's gotten to this 200-day. It's been a buy. Would I buy it right now? Absolutely not. I would wait for the algorithm. Okay, I would wait for the algorithm to tell me, yes, we're in some type of bull move up. That 184 is a significant resistance level. You can see it. We will get up there again. You're on the downside of this. It's a little bit hard to say buy it right now. But I thought this seasonality was interesting because we're not positive in November. Because right now in November, if we just take the first day in November and we go back here, you opened up, let's see, November 1st at 9:30. November 1st at 9:30, you opened at 168. You're at 163. So you're below that. It's only 5 points. But again, if you want 5 points, you can start buying it now. This is a long-term buy and hold in my portfolio. So I like AVGO. I really do. I like that particular stock. It's a custom AI chip versus the NVDA, which is just the mass market one. Now, next one, just so everybody knows, there was a lot of things to go over. I just didn't want to pack the episode with too much. I'm going to just mention this. Elf had a short report. We've seen how good short reports have been at knocking a stock down. It didn't necessarily knock the stock down, but you can go and look at the chart. If you're into ELF, I would just kind of look at that one. Now, I want to bring up some earnings. Okay, first earnings, Williams-Sonoma. This one was up 23% yesterday. 23% after they guided, boost, and they revealed a huge buyback. Okay, huge buyback for them. This is a luxury retailer. Luxury's in. Luxury's in. So that was the first earnings that I saw yesterday. The second earnings that I saw, Snowflake. We talk about Snowflake all the time. I do have a position in Snowflake around 150. We're at 164. It's up 27%. You know why I like Snow? Remember, Snowflake was in the core portfolio. It was in the core portfolio. And in October 2023, it wasn't performing as well as Palantir. So I said, from an AI standpoint, I want exposure to a software, and I'm going to take Snowflake out, and I'm going to put Palantir in. Boy, that turned out to be a great opportunity. Snowflake algorithm, it doesn't really work that well, and it's because it's been in a downward trend. But when you look at this weekly chart, okay, this weekly chart, this is the range that I was trading it in. When I got here at 158, I added to it in the middle. Now, I didn't add to it in the bottom because I said I don't want to, add to a falling knife, but I added to it. And so I own a little bit, $5,000-$6,000. It's not much for me. Have I added to it now? No, but I will, because we're in this range again. we're up 24% in the market. I'm sorry, 27% in the market. And yes, if I just were to extend this out right here, we're in the middle again. So I'm going to add to this. What's going to be the resistance? It's going to be up here at 193, 200. And I will start getting rid of it there. It has the ability to pump like that. This is one of those names that absolutely has the ability to pump. So then we got earnings on another core portfolio holding. It's Palo Alto Networks. This is down 1.32%. Now, this is a core portfolio. It is the largest cybersecurity company. They announced a 2-for-1 stock split, and the earnings were fine. You can see that green line right there. That is the current trend line. As you see it, if you break down below that, you want to start trimming. But that would be where I would say, hey, this is the 2-for-1 split. It's going to happen on December 16th. So that's essentially what you're waiting for, is just on that 2-for-1 split. I think you see it. Also, I think, again, the price comes down, but it wasn't a bad quarter at all. This and Snowflake are the two cybersecurities that I own. You are good in cybersecurity until quantum computing comes out. When quantum computing comes out, remember, cybersecurity means nothing, because with quantum computing, they can break every security that has ever been created. We're a long way away from that, but until that point, every company needs cybersecurity. So I've got Palo Alto just because it's the big player in this market, and I've got CrowdStrike because it's the grower. So not only do I have the shower with Palo Alto, I got the grower with CrowdStrike. So there's just the thing. And then let's just go over NVIDIA. Reassuring data point from NVIDIA investors. VRT is a play on infrastructure build out. At their analyst day on Monday, they made the case that the data center build out is going to continue at least through the end of the decade. That suggests NVIDIA bust is still years away, and it showed 94% year-over-year growth. Or I'm sorry, a quarter-over-quarter? Was it year-over-year? No, it's year-over-year growth in revenue. Yeah, 94% in growth revenue. That's a slowdown, but it's 94%. So I don't care if you're playing NVIDIA. I don't care if you're playing a VRT. Just have exposure. Now, Gene Munster also said, the CFO said they will exceed previous Blackwell estimates of several $1 billion in the January quarter. Everything's on track. Everything's on track. Dan Ives, this was a robust jaw-dropper NVIDIA earnings that speaks to massive AI demand. It's great. Look at this data center revenue. Okay? Look at that data center revenue by quarter. It's continuing to grow. And then you can read the article. NVIDIA just reported Q3 results. Wall Street wanted guidance a touch higher. I think they were just being conservative. You're at 148. You had your opportunity to buy this when they reported earnings under 140 again. So I don't think you're getting an opportunity to buy it under 140. It's soaring again. Okay, you're going to see it move, and you're going to see it go to 150. You're at 148. You will see it go to 150. The report was good. If we go to Wall Street and we look, the average price target is 165. That's still 11% up where you're trading today. The average price target is one, and it's not like this isn't covered. The valuation, perfectly fine. The PEG ratio going forward, 1.39. The growth is there. Again, the growth is there. Revenue growth year over year, 194%. Revenue growth going forward, 90%. I think that's where it was. That's a slowdown. That's considered a slowdown. That's why you saw the stock pull back. And then once the market opened, if we go and look at a 5-minute of this one, okay, I'm going to open up the after hours on this chart, and we're going to look at a 5-minute chart because I'll show you when the earnings came out and how this one looked. Because you'll see it right there is when the earnings came out, and boom, it dipped down. Okay, this candle goes down to 137. And I was on Substack Live. I said, if you get this under 140, just get it. Just get it. I already have enough of this. I wasn't buying it. Now, it dipped down here during the call. It got down to 139. Okay, 139. Again, that 140 price target is the golden. Ignore this one. That's the 8 o'clock candle. It's always screwed up on everything. But we're seeing this one up as the market opens. It gained momentum. Now, it's lost its momentum. Look at the RSI and the MACD. They're a little bit high. You want to play this on the 4-hour algorithm if you're nervous about it. And if you're nervous about it, again, the 4-hour algorithm makes you 604%. You make 763 with buying and holding. Over 24 months, it's 18 positions. I would argue for any sane person, even risky, that takes emotions out of it. You win 67% of the time. Just hold this one. Just freaking buy and hold it. And if you don't want to hold it outright, NVIDIA's earnings have over 500 ETFs tuned in. See the top 10 that are most affected. These are the top 10 ETFs where NVIDIA is the largest position. So you could do what I do with Tesla, which is own XLY. You could own one of these ETFs. So, this one USD, this is the Ultra Semiconductors. This 25% NVIDIA. 25% NVIDIA. So, there you go. That's the entire show. I'm going to go over social requests right now. But before I point out the social requests, I do want to point out I have regained some position here. 2024 trading portfolio, it's up 75% year to date. It's the number 6 in Savvy Trader. So I'm going to flex a little bit. Don't feel like you need to join this one or pay this one. I go over most of my buys. It's just if you want it real time and you think you're going to trade enough, and $299 a year makes sense to you, go and do it. But, I would say join my my paid newsletter for $189. You're more than likely going to get all the buys right there anyway. So we did have a great chat in the paid newsletter this morning, like I told you. And because I did say, hey, I bought IBIT. I put it on Savvy Trader and I put it in the paid newsletter chat. So Pavan asked me, can you take a couple of minutes on your podcast and explain why MicroStrategy should go up 5 times when Bitcoin is up only 2 times? I've been ignoring crypto for a long time and now I'm getting FOMO. First off, Pavan, don't get FOMO because we all have different risk tolerances. That's the key. I'm not playing with money that I can't lose. So that's the key. All of the money that I'm playing with MicroStrategy and MSTX, it's money I could lose and my life won't change. I won't even feel bad if I lose it because I know going in, it's all gambling. But the gamble in my mind, the reward meets the risk. So why is MicroStrategy going up more than 5 times when Bitcoin's only going up 2 times? Couple of reasons. The first is that he ain't selling. He ain't selling. I mean, this is like, saying why does NVDA go up more than NVIDIA? It's a leveraged play. MicroStrategy is not selling. They're going to buy. I think I read somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 to 2% of Bitcoin is actually actively traded. There's a large majority of Bitcoin that doesn't get traded. MicroStrategy is looking to buy 3% of the entire Bitcoin universe. Now, if the US government gets into that play as well, you are going to see that price soar. So MicroStrategy is not selling. That's the big thing. So as he gains more money, as this stock continues to go up and their market cap goes up, he's going to okay additional buying. And that just creates that cycle of it going up. At some point, it probably does bust. But just realize that. That's why I trade it in the algorithm. That's why I have the algorithm. That's why I'm holding this one until the algorithm tells me to get out. I'm not going to time it at the top. I'm not going to time it at the bottom. I'm just going to trade it on the algorithm. The strategy works. Again, I had that strategy tweet at the beginning, so sign up for the newsletter. But it does. Let us help you grow. But that totally makes sense. It's just a leveraged portion. And if you even want to lever on the lever, MSTX. And again, this hasn't been out long enough for me to say, oh my God, this algorithm blows it away. The algorithm makes you 797% in 97 days. 97 days. Say I had taken, $10,000 here and put it into at 1756. And then I just let it ride, and I just let it 797%. Let's see. What's 10,000 times 797%?
10,000 times 797% is 79,700.
That's more than some people make in a year at a job. And this is in 97 days. So again, you have to have the capital to risk. You have to be willing to lose it. Don't get FOMO. Just to understand, that's what this. Name someone in today's administration. The announcement of the administration. RFK Jr. has his entire savings in Bitcoin. Again, name somebody in that administration that is anti-crypto. And we heard Trump, he wants to become the Bitcoin president. And now we have Michael Saylor basically buying a record amount of Bitcoin. It's going to 100,000. You might see a pullback after 100,000 because that is a huge number. But I'm just buying and holding. MicroStrategy and MSTX, I'm playing the algorithm. But that's why I bought IBIT this morning. So it's just a matter of it's leveraged. He's using money to buy everything. And that is a house of cards that can come crumbling down. Paul, well, I spent several hours exploring his new premium membership tonight. He got Seeking Alpha Premium. Paul got the Black Friday sale. He got the Alpha Picks and the Premium. So he spent several hours doing it. If you could add LSGR. Let's look at LSGR. This is Natix ETF Loomis sales. So it's new. Doesn't have a great chart. Doesn't trade much. Let's go over to Seeking Alpha. LSGR. My ETF of choice has always been VGT, which is great. It's beat the Qs. Yeah, VGT, and it's a lower cost. It's been good. It's been marginal against the Qs. Looking at LSGR, I like what I'm seeing. And it beats VGT and the Qs. Both started in mid-2023. Started wondering your opinion about this one. It's only been out 8 months. As a bonus, its top holding is NVIDIA at 14%, followed by Meta, Amazon, Tesla. I'm up 75% in VGT, but this looks a lot better. The only negative I see besides its age is the fee expense rate. Yeah. So VGT is 0.10, and it's also got a very large history to it. So I don't trust ETFs that are under 1 year old. And I don't think that this is anything. The quant says it's a buy because the momentum is an A. The expenses, it's a C. Stick with VGT. Honestly, I don't think that what you're getting into this one for is just basically they've over leveraged the NVIDIA. That's all they've done compared to VGT. Because we can, I don't think you can look at the holdings. Let me look at VGT because I don't think that VGT has as much NVIDIA. No, they've got 15% NVIDIA, 15% Apple. I would stick with VGT. Honestly, don't get FOMO about it. The fees are higher. I would stick with VGT. I don't trust. Loomis is a great company. I don't trust that fee. I'm a guy who will drive 50 miles out of the way to avoid a 50-cent fee on an ATM. So I just don't trust it. I think you're better off in VGT, but that's the boomer in me. If you want to put some money into LSGR, say you have $50,000 in VGT, put $1,000, a couple $100 into LSGR. I don't like this chart. I mean, VGT has a robust long-term chart that you can look at. I just don't like that small type stuff. I mean, VGT is a great ETF. It's super well managed. And so I wouldn't take the chance on that one, Paul, to be honest with you. From Spotify, Rob F., what are your thoughts about MicroStrategy could potentially be accused of fraud and dump? You think that dude's selling? I mean, come on, Rob. Rob, he ain't selling. And there's no fraud out there. What's the fraud? He's out there in public saying it's crazy to hold your money in cash. I'm buying Bitcoin and I'm taking loans on the thing. He's fraud and dump. No. And he's not dumping. He's not selling. Also, I'm looking into LVMUY. LVMUY. Is this the luxury? Oh, this is a foreign stock. Honestly, I don't know what you like about it. Have at it. I don't, it's a foreign stock. It's over the counter. I'm not trading it. You can buy it if you want. This is Louis Vuitton stuff. It's a luxury good. I'd rather trade, a stock that's not over the counter. So that's a you thing, Rob. But no, MicroStrategy is not a pump and dump. Now, scans, we got Cleveland Cliffs. I'm going to go over the core portfolio when we have Cleveland Cliffs, which finally gets a bid. Would I buy this one? No. Like I said, I want the 50-day moving positive and I want the 200-day moving positive. Am I going to time this one? No. And I've gone over this one before. Pre-COVID, this was an $8 stock. I think it wants to move back down there, to be honest with you. So am I buying that one? No. Zeta, which is an alpha pick. We talked about this one. This has a cross up in the 4-hour algorithm. Can this get back to, it's up 156% over the last 2 years. So this pullback, in my mind, opportunity. This is a short report that came out. I think it's complete junk. And you've seen it come back. Now we got a gap up here between 33 and 35. Zeta, I like the stock. Essentially Alpha Picks has gone over exactly why they like the stock. So I like that one. You got SoFi, you got AMD, you have GE Healthcare, you have Anon, DocN, Duolingo, Merck, ASML, Mondelez, Microchip, CSGP, Merck, Dow. You have Yin. We talk about, the triple leverage China ETFs, how those were in favor. This is the China bull, and it's gotten a bid again in the algorithm. Now, the algorithm loses you 13%. You may say that's bad. Buying and holding this one loses you 29%. So you can trade this one. Wait till that 50-day starts moving. Do I want to buy that? No, but when the actual 50-day is under the 200-day on the 4-hour, maybe it makes sense. When you have a golden cross on it, maybe it makes sense. This time, I'd probably wait to buy this one. Bollinger Bands are a little too wide open. You can see they cinched up here, and then boom, it just went down. Remember, when Bollinger Bands cinch up, it's going to make a move. You don't know up or down, but you can take a look at the moving averages and pretty much tell where it's going to go. Now, when this one pumped up to 37, again, it's a triple leverage ETF. It just lost it and went down to 28. One of the sectors that got a cross up, XLB. This is materials. This is Cleveland Cliffs. This is the material sector. Got a cross up here at 92. You can see how well it's sitting at that 92. And you could buy materials. Go over here to Seeking Alpha. You type in XLB. Let's see what the top holding is. Linde, Sherwin-Williams, Air Products and Chemicals, Freeport-McNamara. Linde is 17% of this. Maybe you just want to buy Linde because year to date, this one is, let's say it's up 9%. That's pretty good. The S&P is up 26%. So materials has been a hated sector. But this one's a hold in the quant. Again, you can pull up this virtual analyst report. All of this stuff comes. You don't have to ask me about any of this stuff. Get your own analyst with the Seeking Alpha Black Friday sale. Again, premium and alpha picks for $509. You have your own analyst. You don't need to ask me. I'm a boomer. I'm a guy on the internet. Don't trust me. Trust Alpha Picks. You get premium, which is a crazy, crazy good service, and you get the Alpha Picks portfolio. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound.